Hi, my name is Kevin. I wanted to make a video, but I wasn't sure if I wanted to, and so here it is. This is a small snippet into my life. You might criticize me, but I don't really care what you say about me. Nobody's probably gonna watch this video anyway. Maybe that's for the better. I've been going through some things, and I just wanted to make a video because I just need a place to vent. And ever since my best friends have left me, I've just been feeling very lonely. And then there was also the church. The church has many of its problems, and after my best friend left me, I've shut down my social media, and I need a place to vent, and the only place left is YouTube, so I thought, why not utilize it? So basically, I am now in my early 30s, and I've been very lonely for a long while. As I mentioned, my best friends have left me. I have two best friends. They both have left me. One of them is from childhood. I know I'm not perfect, but I've always tried to be a good person, and I have been a good person. Always been helping out my friends, but I get nothing in the end. And they all left me. And I know there's no such thing as a good person in Christianity, but I'm still human. And so right now I have no friends, and I've also left the church, and because of differences and some conflicts. But this video is primarily going to be about the church, and I'm trying to move on with my life, but I feel like the values and restrictions imposed by the church, I use the word church loosely, mainly to describe the people of the church. They really stuck with me. All the rules and values that they impose. I mean, after all, they do make the rules. But you can say that they really brainwashed me, so to speak. And as of currently, I've been having a tug of war between my personal values and the values and beliefs of the church. So the main issue is really with my peers. Not so much the pastors, but mostly just my peers or people around my age. And I can honestly say that I've been hurt by the church, so I have some religious trauma. And I have to say my peers or the people around my age are the worst. And there was a terrible situation that happened, but I won't go into too much details here. And some of them are younger than me, and I know they kind of lack life experience. But in a way, I don't know why I'm so hung up on them. The pastors were okay, but they're still equally troubled. I feel like everyone in the church is so into their own doctrine that they become hypocrites themselves. And there are too many hypocrites in the church, and they set the rules. And I myself am also a hypocrite, but at least I admit that I am. I'm not perfect. And in a way, I never felt like I belonged anywhere, never fit in anywhere, whether it's at work or at the church. And I've been to 3 different churches, and 2 of which I left because of conflicts. I just felt like everyone was so into their own cliques, and they help each other out, while I have to bend at the knees and obey them like a dog. And I feel like that's what the church is. You have to submit to their arbitrary authority. And the church really doesn't care about you. They just want you to fall in line and for God. And they don't care what you want and need, because in essence you don't matter. It matters what God wants. And if you don't know what He wants, and that's kind of been for me, I've been trying to figure out for many years, and how can I be a true Christian, right? So sometimes I feel like either I was chosen or I was never chosen at all. So I may have never been saved. But the people of the church only care to serve each other, and it feels like a cult in some way. And they want you to be at the church every week and do their biddings. And they don't care if you're depressed or have any troubles. They just want you to be active. They all think they know better, but it feels like it's just blind faith. It's just the blind leading the blind. And I was just thinking, there's that one episode from Seinfeld where George was trying to join a cleaning cult, but they don't accept him. So in a way, I kind of felt like George in a way. And also, as mentioned earlier, one thing that I hated was hypocrisy. And I'll just share one story. So there was a former friend who was looking for a new job, and so was I, and he claimed that he needed to spend more time with God. But as for me, I was suffering. I was stuck in a job for 4 years, and my mental health was affected. He told me not to look for a new job, even though he was. He also got married, and he had a house, and I felt like it was very hypocritical of him. And if I've been suffering and stuck in a job for that long, why should I have to stay, right? So my mental health was getting worse, so I should get out of there. But he told me to keep staying. I never liked him. He thinks he knows better. And also when he was buying a new house, he prayed to God and to see if it was a right decision. And when God didn't reply, he thought God said it was okay. So I think they're realizing a problem with prayer, and they'll justify their reasons when God didn't answer. They just think God said yes. And I never thought prayer worked. I've been praying every night since childhood for the longest time. Granted, I didn't pray correctly, but I corrected later on in life. But later on in life, I kind of stopped praying. And people just assume they work, but I feel like there's no proof of it ever working. And as I've mentioned, I'm in my early 30s and I have needs and wants, but for the longest time, I've obeyed, whether it was the church, God, or my parents. And it's just that things have become so overwhelming and I couldn't handle the church. I had to take some time off. I've served in my last church in 2 to 3 different capacities, and then I was told that I was not religious enough. I had to basically attend church every Sunday and participate in every activity. And I just say, fuck that shit. At times I wanted to also share some things, whether it was something that I've asked of me or something out of my own volition, and they never worked out. I wanted to do something different, like give a presentation to bridge the gap between non-believers and believers for my young adult group, but it never came to fruition. So in a way, I know that we're never enough in God's eyes, but saying that kind of shit, that I'm not religious enough, just makes my blood boil. And I still put in the time and effort, so I deserve some credit. And there was a situation, and I wrote about it in my book, so you can check it out. It's called The Time Traveler, Reckoning for the Past. You can feel free to check it on Amazon. I've also written 3 other books if you want to check them out, and I go by the pen name Jack Krim. This video is not a promotion for my books, but I just thought I'll share them. Anyway, so I was in my darkest moment. Basically, they told me that at the end, they told me I did nothing wrong, but yet they want me to be a certain way. So what kind of messed up logic was that? I say, don't let anyone tell you what you can and can't be. And after my situation, after some time, they checked up on me, and when I refused to return to the church, I had some emotional pains. I still had some emotional pains, and they critically told me that they gave me a path and that I refused to follow it. They think they know it's the right path. It's not. So at the end, I just think that we all have one life. We're all die one day. Death is the great equalizer. It's the greatest equalizer. So, and we don't know where we go, or maybe we don't go anywhere. And in a way, we never existed. We existed, once existed, and will never exist again, forever. So, and we have no proof of reincarnations or the afterlife, and maybe this is it, right? Maybe life is it. In a way, I am scared of death, yes, and it's easy to say you're not, but we all have one life, and we should do the best that we can to achieve everything that we hope to achieve without any regrets. And in a way, I think that we can prove the claims of the Bible, but everyone's so quick to hate you with it, and it's just infuriating. And I'll just throw this out there. Christians are bigoted, and they claim to be loving, but they're hypocritical. And they want you to be in their religion so they can control you, basically, and determine your life and how you should be. And Christianity has a built-in mechanism that it's never wrong. Like in the Bible says, it is the truth and that everything else is bad. So, and it has a lot of building mechanism that you can't easily refute. And also the Bible claims that, the world is wrong, and implies that, but that implies that, knowing the world and seeing reality. So it seems like a pseudo reality where everything inside Christianity is correct and real, but the world isn't. But, the world is real, but they don't want you to see it, and hence that's why I wanted to do that presentation, for Bridging the Gap, because there is a world that we live out there. In a way, I would rather be a lukewarm Christian than a hypocritical true Christian, so to speak. At least lukewarms are more normal because they're part of reality and part Christian. These super religious people can be intolerable, as in they're intolerable, and harder for everyone else to tolerate them. I'm not saying that there are no good Christians out there. There are. But maybe it's just the hypocrites covering the veneer of a true Christian that you have to watch out for. False teachers, am I right? I have to say this. The church failed to make me understand. Christians failed to make me trust in the faith. Either they don't know what they believe, or they're zealots without proper understandings. As of right now, religion is a waste of time. All the time I've wasted being part of the church with nothing in the end. I'm not a person to leave God because of the church, because people are people and God is God. Whatever the people did, you can't put the blame on God, because God didn't do that. It's the people that did. So in a way, I still believe in God, but just right now, I don't want to have anything to do with the church unless my partner goes there. And I'm still a Christian, but I've always seen myself as a deist. And to be honest, the only reason why I'm a Christian is that it's the closest thing to God than any other religion. It is Jesus who is God, but no other faiths claim this, right? So I'd rather listen to God than man. I mean, there's the Egyptian faith of Assyrians, but that's an ancient religion. So, they're all kind of ancient, but, anyways. And I've never been big on rituals. Before I was baptized, I contemplated on being a Catholic or a Protestant. But again, I wasn't so keen on the rituals, so I settled on being a Protestant instead. I have to say this. Don't pray for me. I don't need your hypocritical prayer and prayers that don't work. If you pray for me to return to the faith, but I may not, so your prayers wouldn't work. One of my best friends was a Christian. Will we ever meet again in heaven? If there is a heaven, I never want to see him or the people from the church ever again. We're all in this world for a brief moment in time. Whether in life or death, we all move on from each other. We no longer talk to each other. We all forget each other and of the world after we die. We are all oblivious feathers floating around in this world. Hi. So here's a copy of the book. It's called The Time Traveler, Requiem for the Past. I go by the pen name of Jack Krim, or you can call it Alias. And this is the book. You can check it out on Amazon. You can also check out all my other books on Amazon as well. Thanks.